In today's video, I am just taping off a grid pattern on a piece of watercolor paper and then doing using a very limited palette and a variety of media, not just paint, to create some different grids. Now, I had a fail right before I did this video, and then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna use a better piece of paper, and then I'm just gonna turn the camera on, because here's the thing, I didn't wanna do it again. After the tape ruined it, I was just like, forget it, I'm not doing it. But then I thought, no, I need to kind of press on. This is something that I don't do very often, and I feel like it had a great result, and it is something I would like to continue. And it's just another way to build in, I feel like, creativity and exploration and trying new things into your making art, into your creative practice, whatever that might be, whatever that looks like for you. And so for me, that means I gotta try new things. I gotta do different things. And this was something that I hadn't done before. And so what I expect the first time I try it, it's gonna turn out great. Well, no, it did not turn out great. And the paper got ruined. And so it's like, okay, let's try it again. And actually, I feel like the second time I did it, using the better paper probably helped, but it also, I had already done it once. And so I feel like the result was actually better, because it was like, anytime you do something and then do it again, typically you get better, or you have a better result, given that maybe you're more freed up, you're not so tense or tight. So anyway, a long story short, I would definitely add this in, or try to do this, even if you just have masking tape or some. You don't need anything special. I mean, I did use artist tape, and if you have like the paint that you use when you're painting your house, you tape that off. It's called painter's tape, I believe. You get at Home Depot or wherever. I think that would probably work fine. It's not as tacky as regular tape. I think even washi tape might work. So I think any tape that isn't like super strong, because the stronger the tape, the more it's gonna wanna rip your paper. So, and I would definitely recommend using, the best paper that you have, because not for what you're putting on it, although there is something to that. It's that the lower quality paper is more prone to tearing. And that was what spurred me on to actually make this video. Was I had a big fail. So, and I didn't want to do it again. So, like I already mentioned. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So I have my paper taped off into 6 sections. I didn't measure or anything like that. I'm using kind of a mixed media paper, so hopefully when I get to it, I will be able to pull the tape off. I actually have had, I did this a little bit ago, so I already have some paints and stuff ready, but I had an epic fail. And so I thought, let's just do it again. I'm gonna do it on camera and we'll see how it goes. We're gonna use the exact same materials I used earlier. What happened was I used a really lightweight paper, and when I went to pull the tape off, it just tore the whole thing. Now this could tear as well. I do know that a really heavy watercolor paper is your best bet for getting tape off, and there's all kinds of tricks and things like that. This is not something that I do very often. So honestly, I guess if it rips, the paper rips, it rips. It's more about the process and experimenting, and I will know to get myself some little bit higher quality paper to do this again. So I have just a few limited supplies. I wanted to use all different things. I have a graphite pencil, a oil pastel in kind of a reddish color, a Derwent charcoal block, a soft pastel in kind of a beigey color. I have some sepia in the high flow fluid acrylic, and then some carbon black in the just regular fluid acrylic, and some white heavy body paint here. I have a few brushes, and I'm just gonna, kind of go for it and see what happens. I thought I'd start with my pencil and just put a lot of marks on here just to kind of get things going, and then kind of move on from there. I think I would like to start maybe with some very bold, let me get some water on that brush, marks, and maybe some areas where there's going to be, a lot of bold interest. And so there you go. And let's do that up here. Okay. So there's some all the way around. Now let's go in with this large charcoal block and just make some color on each of those. And this is water soluble, so it's not gonna stay unless I either use a fixative or put paint or something over the top of it. So, which then it'll change it. But that's kind of we're off to a fun start. So maybe I'll come in with a little bit of paint, white paint, just to kind of mix, blend in some of that charcoal, which is fun. I like using different colors of charcoal. That's more like a raw sienna or ochre color. Let's see, I'm just trying to hit those spots that don't have anything yet. Okay, maybe right here. Okay, so then what haven't we used? Let's use this red to, maybe I'll use the sepia just to get another round of marks. I'm just going to use it straight out of the tube if it comes. Maybe I'll just kind of give some simple lines. Okay. All of them have it. This one needs maybe a little bit more. And maybe, I have this brush, let me get it wet. I'll just kind of, versus letting it just pool up, let's have it have some movement. Okay. Because otherwise it may not dry, or it'll take its time drying. I just got to thinking what might be, let's see. Okay, let's use the soft pastel now, and I'm going to use it in the areas, again, where we don't have anything yet, kind of like filler. Just to add a lighter version of that the charcoal block. Maybe on top a little bit, maybe in here, maybe. Okay. All right. So I'm kind of liking this. Let's add a little bit more white paint. I'm going to get some water, kind of mix that in. And of course, my white paint is always slightly tainted with other colors, so you never quite know what you're going to get. But let's see, maybe there's some areas that are a little busy. We can kind of calm those down a little bit. Or just add another layer. Sometimes it's tricky. I've only done this a few times, and it is interesting. Once you take off the tape, it's shocking. You think, oh, this, I don't really like it. But then you take off the paint, and it's amazing how cool it can look. So just, it's fun to give these things a try. Because this is something that is not part of my normal. I wouldn't necessarily think to do it. But I have seen so many artists do it, and the results are so cool. I'm like, I gotta try this. And so I've tried it a few times, and then, I'm not using the right paper or the right tape or something. Not really sure what my problem is, but so, okay. Okay, just trying to fill in kind of all the, not that it has to be filled in, I could just leave the paper white, but I kind of like the idea that all the paper is painted so that the full square is there, or painted, the whole square is painted when we pull the tape off. Okay, so let's try some marks with the red. And I kind of like each of these squares to have, some common, they have the big bold black marks, they have the pastels, they have the marks with the graphite. So, and all the, the sepia and stuff. So maybe I'll go in with some smaller marks. Let's see, maybe just like some little tick marks like this. And not really sure. Let's just start with a small amount and then kind of see where it goes. We can always add more. It's tricky. It's like, you see the whole thing. Do I want it up there? Do I want it down here? I think I want them down here. Let's do them across. let's try this. Okay. Okay, and right here. So it's all, you know, just about, for me, this is about experimenting and just kind of exploring what this looks like. It feels a little bit blind to me. I suppose if you did it all the time, you'd get really good at like assessing, oh, this looks good, or that looks good, or I should try this. And whereas, you know, I feel like I'm coming into it going, oh, I don't really know, but yeah, it is cool. It is fun. So what else? I guess maybe that could be enough. Maybe I need a little bit more white space. Okay. Not sure. Some of them feel a little bit messy, but let's see. Again, that could be okay, because it could be when the tape is gone that it's not really as messy as I'm thinking. So let's see. And I'm painting on the tape because I'm not seeing where the tape is. Okay, so I think we're gonna call it good. It's a very simple exercise, and I feel like it's, just trying to think, do I wanna add anything else in? I think that's fine, because here's the thing, this is still really wet there. Because it's a fun process regardless to me of the result. So I think, so like I said, I haven't done this that many times, but I do know I like working with a limited palette. I do know that I like all the colors that I'm using. And so I think this is a fun experiment. I'm gonna let it dry for a second and then we'll pull the tape. Before I pull the tape off, I decided I wanna do just a little bit more with the graphite pencil. I just thought, you know, just to add a little bit kind of behind, kind of very subtle, but it feels like it's adding just another hint, and maybe I'm making them busier than I'm gonna want them, but again, hard to know. So, all right, now let's pull the tape off, and fingers crossed that I can do this without completely destroying it. And if there's a little bit of destruction, I guess it's okay. So far, so good. Okay. And I do know some people save this tape, which is remarkably cool when you look at it. So I might set that aside. I'm not sure I'm going to save it, but it certainly is something to consider. Okay. Definitely this paper is working better than the other paper that I tried. So definitely the thicker or the nicer the better for the paper for this project, or maybe I just had a bad go of it. Who knows? Okay. Okay, let's see. Excellent. Okay, now definitely, I'm gonna kind of do that. With the soft pastel, you're definitely, I can already see kind of powdery stuff, so you would definitely have to spray this, and you could have sprayed it before. You can see that I did not measure very well. These are smaller, but honestly, I feel like I really love how this turned out, and I feel like this is a great experiment in a very limited palette, using a variety of mediums, and just kind of going for it and see what happens. And I feel like by doing these little studies and by doing it as a whole and then doing them, you know, they're individual, having them taped off, really just, it's just a fun experiment. And honestly, I could see turning these into cards, or you could even put them, if you were more, if you measured them more. I do a lot on little 4x4 canvases with collage. This would be amazing. So anyway, I hope that you will consider giving this a try. It is definitely something that's super fun. And again, and maybe I'll grab the one I totally ripped and ruined earlier. And you can see it's completely destroyed, and it's slightly different, but I did use the same colors, but this paper was really flimsy. So I would suggest not using flimsy paper if you're going to do this, and something a little bit heavier. or follow a person. Watch a YouTube video about it, because that is where I've seen a lot of people do this exact thing, and definitely gave me the idea, and their results are fabulous, and people are more knowledgeable about paper and different ways to do this and how to pull the paper up or pull the tape up than I am. But again, to me, it's all about trying, experimenting, and doing something, even if it's for the first time, even if you rip your paper, just do it again, do it again, do it again, and just have fun and explore your color palette, the things you like, and just see where it might lead you. You just never know. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.